Look at the input. 23 walking, 19 hour, 15 street, 16 match, 0.13. So basically an input line of words and numbers is given. There's a step-by-step rearrangement process, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step 5 here. And then he says step 5 is the last step of the rearrangement of the above input. As per the rules followed in the above steps, find out in each of the following questions the appropriate step for the given input. So there's one more input given to us. 6 price wholesale, 13 inflation fall, 16 moderates, 923. We got to rearrange this input in the same fashion like here and get the desired output. And then there will be questions asked based on that. Like you can see the questions here. Which of the following would be step 3 after the rearrangement? In step 3, which of the following words would be at 6th position from the left end, and so on. Right? So clearly for us to answer those questions, we have to get the step-by-step process for the given input here. But for us to do that step-by-step process, we should first understand how is that process being done in the first place. Right? So like you all know, the first step in machine input output is to look at the last step. Look at the last step and try to decipher the logic. What is the logic that has been used there? Like in the last step here, step 5, I can see that the arrangement is R, match, walking, point, streets, 19, 16, 23, 13, 15. But why is this the arrangement? Why is this the output is not known to me. So I should first find out, identify the logic behind this output. And then maybe I can look at the step-by-step process. If I directly start looking at the step-by-step process, I'll not be able to follow anything. Like for example, what happened from input to step 1? From input to step 1, the word streets has been brought to the first position and the number 19 has been brought to the last position. What happened in step 2, step 1 to step 2? Street was pushed inside, 19 also was pushed inside, but then the word point has been brought to the extreme left and the number 16 for whatever reasons has been taken to the extreme right. So one thing is very clear, in every step if you observe from step 2 to step 3 as well, we always bring the words towards the left hand side and numbers towards the right hand side. Like what happened from 2 to 3? So the words point and streets were pushed inside. The numbers 19 and 16 were pushed inside. The word walking has been brought to the extreme left. And the number 23 has been brought to the extreme right. So clearly always words are being taken towards the left and numbers are being taken towards the right. And that's the reason in the final output also you find that all the words have been arranged first, followed by all the numbers. But what is the reason behind these arrangement of words in this fashion? And what's the reason behind this arrangement of numbers in this fashion is what we need to understand. Okay. Now, let me give you the logic here, right? Let me explain the logic. If you observe, the first point to be noted here is when streets was moved to the extreme left in the first step, the number that was moved to the extreme right was 19. Why? Because streets is associated with 19 in some fashion. I'll tell you why later. Similarly, when the number point was moved in second step to the extreme left, the number 16 was moved to the extreme right. So point is associated with 16. Similarly, walking is associated with 23. Walking is got to do something with 23. Match, when match was brought to the extreme left in fourth step, the number that was taken to the extreme right was 13. Match is related with 13. And finally, the word R is related to 15. Now, what do you think could be the relation between these words and numbers? How are these numbers in any fashion associated with these words? Simple. The word streets starts with S. S, if you recall, is the 19th letter in the English alphabet. The word point starts with P. The first letter is P, and P is the 16th letter of the English alphabet. W is the 23rd letter of the English alphabet. M is the 13th letter of the English alphabet, and O, like you all know, is the 15th letter of the alphabet. So basically, the numbers are associated with the first letters of the words which are being moved. That's very clear. So street and 19. Street was moved with 19 because S is the 19th letter. Point was moved with 16. Walking was moved with 23 because W is 23rd letter. Match along with 13 because match M here is the 13th letter, and R, O is the 15th letter. That's clear. So why the number was moved along with the word is very clear. But what is the reason behind moving these words is still unclear to us. Why did we move streets first? Why did we move points later? Then why walking? Then why match? And then why R? Or finally, what is the logic behind this output? Let me explain this to you. If you observe each word here, our match, walking, point, streets, these words have got odd number of letters. 3 letters, 5 letters, I think here we have got 7 letters, again 5 letters and 7 letters. Which means each word has a perfect middle letter. Like for example, our, the word R has got the middle letter U. What is U's numerical position, by the way? U is the 21st letter. Look at the word match. The middle letter, the centermost letter is T. What is T's numerical position? 20. As per the alphabet, T is the 20th letter. Walking, the middle letter here is K. W-A-L on the left hand side, I-N-G on the right hand side. K is the middle letter. And what is K's position? 11th letter of the English alphabet. Point, the middle letter is I. It's the 9th letter. Streets, the middle letter here is E. And E here is the 5th letter. So if you pay attention, the words have been arranged based on these numbers. If you look at the numbers now, 21, 20, 11, 9, 5, these are all in descending order. The numbers are in descending order. What are these numbers? These numbers are the numerical positions of the middle letters of the words as per the English alphabet. So I am trying to arrange the words in such a way that the words come out to be based on the middle letters, the numerical positions of their middle letters, descending order of the numerical positions of the middle letters, right? And numbers are clearly associated with the first letter of the word. So what is important here is the first letter of each word and the middle letter of each word, because the middle letter of each word will decide the sequence of words in the output, and the first letter of each word will decide the sequence of numbers in the output. You're getting it? So if I have to summarize, in first step we have moved streets and 19. Why number was moved? Why this 19 was moved? Because 19 represents the numerical position of S, which is the first letter of the word streets. Why 16 was moved? Because 16 is the numerical position of P, the first letter of point, and so on. But why was streets moved? Because we wanted street. See, again, the idea is this: always keep taking words to the extreme left, keep taking numbers to the extreme right, and keep moving them inside. Always they keep going inside. You know, with each step, you push the numbers and the words inside. So I am choosing the first word as streets because streets has got the middle letter E, which is the least in terms of numerical position here. So that should finally come inside. And number automatically will come. See, you just have to understand which words have to be moved. Accordingly, numbers will come. Because numbers have got a very, very strong and very strict relationship with the words here. So we don't have to worry about numbers. All we have to worry about is the word. Which words have to go in first step? Which word has to go in the second step? Which word has to go in the third step? Then from third step to fourth step to fifth step. So how do you decide? You choose the word which has got the least numerical position of its middle letter in the first step, and so on, right? So that finally we get the descending order. Now, clearly analyzing and getting to this logic in the exam is difficult. Honestly, if I were writing the exam, if I were taking the exam, I wouldn't have got this logic. It took great amount of time to arrive at this logic. In fact, I took help from one of my colleagues, right? I couldn't crack it. I couldn't decipher this. So I would suggest, or at least I would skip this question in the exam. I'll spend 1 minute. In 1 minute, if I'm able to crack the logic by looking at step 5, that is the last step, I'm fine. If I'm unable to crack the logic, then I'll simply skip and go to the next one. There's no point in wasting time on such questions. Remember, you should never waste your time on such questions in the exam, right? If you get the logic by looking at the last step, fine, proceed. Otherwise, just leave. Anyway, now that we have understood the logic, let's also solve for the given input. So one input is given to us now: 6, price, wholesale, inflation, and so on, right? 13, inflation, fall. So we got to, rearrange this input in the same fashion and then get the answers. Now, if you have gone through the videos of machine input output, I have told you that one easy way to solve such questions is to go by arrows and cancellation. Cancel the word and represent its movement using arrows. But if I look at the set of questions asked here, questions have been asked in such a way that I better know the actual sequence in the actual positions. Like for example, look at question number 2. In step 3, which of the following words would be at 6th position from the left end? In step 4, which of the following words would be 3rd position to the left of 8 from the left end? In step 3, 6 is related to false, 13 is related to moderates. Then in the same way, 9 is related to what? Answering these questions would be possible if and only if I have a complete arrangement like this, right? Exact sequence of 1, exact sequence of 2, exact sequence of 3, and so on, right? Then last question also, you see in which step the elements 6, price, 13 are found in the same order. So what we will do is we better do the complete arrangement for the given input, right? The input is 6 price wholesale, 13 inflation falls, 16 moderates, 923. So here's the input. Let's try this. First of all, let's link the numbers to the words, right? P. See, how are these numbers associated with the words? These numbers represent the first position. I mean the position of the first letters of each word. Like P is the 16th letter. So 16th is here, right? So price is for 16. You got to, I mean, you don't have to write this separately on paper, but for the clear explanation, I'm just putting it up, right? Price and 16 will go together. So whenever you move price to the extreme left, 16 will be moved to the extreme right. Similarly, wholesale, the word here is wholesale. First letter is W, which is 23rd. So wholesale will move along with 23, or rather 23 will move along with wholesale. Inflation, I, 9th letter. Do we have the number 9 here? Yes, we have 9. So 9 will go with inflation. Then we have falls. Falls starts with F, which is the 6th letter, right? So falls and 6 will move together. And finally moderates and 13. M, right? 13th letter. Moderates will go with the 13th letter. Now understand, what is my desired output? My desired output, see, look at this. The output will be as follows. Desired output will be as follows. Look at the middle letters. I, price, 9th letter. Wholesale, I think the middle letter is E, 5th letter, right? Inflation, the middle letter is A, the first letter. Falls, the middle letter is L, 12th letter, right? 12th letter. Moderates, the middle letter is R, which is 18th letter, right? So we have to arrange the words in such a way that they are in the descending order, right? Go back, confirm if you have any confusion, right? Descending order, 21, 20, 11, 9, 6, descending order of the middle letters. So if I want descending order, what should be the first word? The first word should be moderates, because the middle letter here is 18th letter. So I think the output should be moderates followed by next comes what? After 18 is 12, right? So falls, moderate, falls. Then after falls it should be price, 9th letter. Then it should be wholesale, and then it should be inflation. Moderate, falls, price, wholesale, inflation. Now remember, numbers directly cannot be put in this order. Like moderates is 13, so don't put 13 here, and then falls is 6, so don't put 6 here, because remember, when you moved inflation, the word that was moved was 9. So numbers will be in the reverse order. Like inflation, it will be 9 here. Then go in the reverse order, right, for numbers. See, that you can understand here also, right? Street was associated with 19. Points was associated with 16. Walking was associated with 23. Match was associated with 13. And hour was associated with 15. So because it is, hour, match, walking, point, street, don't put the numbers in that fashion. 15, like 15, 13, 23, 16 and 19. It'll be, in the reverse order basically. So that's what you have to do here also, right? So inflation was associated with 9. Wholesale was associated with 23. Then price was associated with 16. Falls was associated with 6. Moderates was associated with 13. So this is the final desired output. Now that we know what the output is, you can work on the step-by-step process. Okay. So look at step 1. Easy way to solve such questions would be to use only the letters of the words and only the numbers, so that you don't go wrong in the alignment basically. Like instead of moderates, falls, price, wholesale, inflation, I will say the output is M, F, P, W, I, and then 9, 23, 16, 6, 13. The advantage of using only the first, see, different words are of different lengths. Moderates has got 9 letters, falls has got only 5 letters. So when you try to write the steps right, you may miss out on some elements. I mean, it usually happens, human error. So to avoid that human error, if you take only the first letters always and then try to move them, it will be easy, right? Here, of course, maybe because of middle letters, you may wish to write the full word, but you got to pay attention and make sure that you don't miss out on any word or any number anywhere, right? So let me start. So what will you move? In the first step, what we do? We'll move inflation. See, inflation should be taken in the first step, so that finally it comes in the centermost position, in the middlemost, because every time you keep pushing inflation inside. So I'll write inflation Let me write the full word in case. Inflation. So inflation is moved here. And what is the number? The number that goes along with inflation is 9. 9 has to come in the last position. Just take everything else aside. So inflation comes here, then 6, price, wholesale, 13, inflation is already moved, then false, 16, moderates. Remember, 9 will be taken to the rightmost position, 23 and 9. So this is done. In step 2, what do we do? Step 2, inflation will be pushed inside, but what will come before inflation? Before inflation, we want wholesale. So wholesale, then inflation. See, 9 will be pushed inside, right? And since wholesale is related to 23, 23 will come here. Take everything else in the middle. So, wholesale has been taken outside. Wholesale and 23 have been moved. Everything else has to be pushed inside. So inflation, then we have 6, price, 13, false, 16, and moderate. What comes in step 3? Right, before wholesale we want price. So price, wholesale, inflation. Don't miss out on a word or a number here, otherwise you may have to do the whole thing again, right? And then 9 and 23 are moved inside along with price. I think wholesale is already gone, right? Along with price, 16 will come here. Then just take the rest of the stuff. So wholesale, inflation, 6, price is already gone there, 13, false, 16 has gone here, and moderate. Then step 4, before price we want false. So false, everything else is moved inside, right? Price, wholesale, inflation. With respect to numbers, 9, 23, 16, and false is 6. So you move these two and copy it. 13 and moderate will get copied in the middle. And finally the step 5. What happens in step 5? Take moderate outside. So moderate, then false, then price, and wholesale, then inflation. And with respect to numbers, 9, 23, 16, 6, 13. That's what we got, right? Moderate, false, price, wholesale, inflation, 9, 23, 16, 6, 23. Remember, we are doing this complete arrangement. It will take a couple of minutes for you to do this. But why are we doing the complete arrangement? So that answering the questions become very easy. You look at the type of questions here, right? If the questions are all about which is the last step, which is the last but one step, right, and so on, then we need not do all this. We can just do cancellations and indicate using arrows. But here, since the question has got typical requirements, we have to do the complete process. Okay, and don't go by the length of the explanation, right? If I have taken 5 minutes here, does not mean that it actually takes 5 minutes. I am explaining it to you, so it has taken longer. Fine. So let's answer the question now. Which of the following would be the third step? Would be the step 3rd after rearrangement. Step 3rd. Look at step 3rd. Price, wholesale, inflation, 613 false. So just try to map that. Price, wholesale, inflation, 613 false. At least the first 6 words. Price, wholesale, inflation, 613 false. Price, it should start with price. Price, wholesale, inflation, 613 false. Price, wholesale, inflation, 613 false. Okay, I think the up to this everything is correct only in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th options. Then what comes after false in 3rd step? Moderate, 9, 23, 16. Moderate, sorry, what is that? Moderate, 9, 23, 16. So moderate is of course there. 9, it should be 9. Here we have 23. So this is 9. And after 9, I think it was 23, right? 9, 23, 16. 9, yeah, so here it is 16, so eliminated. 9, 23, 16. So option D is the answer. Right? Option D is the answer. Then question 2. In step 3, which of the following words would be at 6th position from the left hand? Step 3, 6th position from left hand. Go back. Okay, step 3 is this itself, right? We have already got D as the answer. We don't have to go back there. See, D here is step 3 according to our previous question. So which in step 3, which of the following words would be at 6th position from left hand? 6th position from, see, this itself is step 3, understand? I am not going back to my arrangement because step 3 is already there, the option D of first question. So 6th position from left hand, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, false. So option D will be the answer again, false. In step 4, this time it's about step 4. In step 4, which of the following words would be at 3rd position to the left of 8th from the left hand? So step 4, 3rd position to the left of 8th from the left hand. So first of all, this is step 4. What is 8th from left hand? What is 8 from left hand? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. 8 from left hand is 23. Now the question is third position to the left of 8 from left hand. Now 8 from left hand can be replaced with 23. What is third to the left of 23? In step 4, what is third to the left of 23? Third to the left of 23. See, left of 23. First, second, third. Third to the left of 23 is 13. So 13 should be the answer. Option D. Right? Option D. Next, in step 3, I hope all of you have understood this. In step 3 now, question number 4. In step 3, so step 3 is this itself, remember. 6 is related to false. 6 is related to false. Okay. 13 is related to moderates. 13 is related to moderates. 13 is related to moderates. So if you observe, these are alternate, right? 6 and false are alternate. 13 and moderates are alternate, right? 6 is related to false, alternate positions. 13 and moderates, alternate positions. In the same way, 9 is related to what? So 9 should be related to what? 9 should be related to 16. See, 6 is to false. From 6 to false, you skip one position. So 6, skip false. 13 is to moderates. 13, skip and then moderates. So 9 is related to what? 9, then skip and 16. 9 is related to 16. So option A is the answer. See, don't misunderstand that false first letter F, 6, moderates first letter M, so 13. That's not the idea. With respect to step 3. With respect to step 3, the relationship between 6 and false is these are alternate positions. Between 13 and moderates is that 13 and moderates are in alternate positions. So 9 and 23, 9 and 16 are also in alternate positions. Right? 9 is related to 16. And the last one here, in which step the elements 6, price, 13 were found in the same order? So 6, price, 13, 6, price, 13. Find out which step has got 6, price, 13 in their order. Go back to the question. 6, price, 13, 6, price, 13, 6, price, 13. Step 2. Right? 6, price, 13. So step 2 should be the answer. In step 2, we have found 6, price, 13 to be the same order.